Somebody's like, I'm hungry. They Google food. Like, I don't know. What are you thinking? I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican food. Ooh, taco looks good.
Tacos.
And they search tacos in the area.
Tacos around me.
They go, yeah, they go. That's how I'd eat. I decide on the meat. I go, beef stroganoff. I go, beef stroganoff near me.
Stroganoff towards me. Some stroganoff sounds good, man.
Yeah, type it into Yelp. Find us. Find reviews that mention beef stroganoff in the area.
Let's see. BestStroganoffInTown.com.
I love beef stroganoff because it sounds dirty.
It sounds gross.
Sounds like I've been stroganoff.
Oh, I've been stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff. Hey, tell that beef to go out into the field. He's gonna stroke off. No, stroganoff is a nice meal. Heavy.
Best stroganoff. It is heavy. And that's great because you have a lot of leftovers.
Yep.
Top 10 best beef stroganoff in Louisville, Kentucky.
Who's got number one?
Evan Williams Burger Experience.
What?
Or wait, no, that's a sponsored response.
Put $50 on when people Google best beef stroganoff so that our name comes up.
All right. Lemieux is number one.
They got good strog.
My mother had the beef stroganoff.
She's dead now. 4 out of 5.
She's the best stroganoff she'd ever had.
Was it?
And thankfully, she died the next day.
Wait, was that the best stroganoff
No.
her mom ever had?
My mother had the beef stroganoff, and she isn't a big eater.
Like she hates food.
That's why.
So this is recommended by people who don't like food. Good to know.
It's also his mother's birthday.
Oh.
And he takes her out to a place where it's like,
Hey, Mom, you hate food. Let's go eat.
we went to the theater. My mom hates pictures.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, she's got to eat. It's not, she's like, it's my birthday. Give me an IV drip of nutrients.
She isn't a big eater. I tried what she didn't finish. There is a huge benefit to being tacky like that. It was amazing.
Tacky? It's tacky to share?
This guy's got big standards.
It's tacky to not waste food
guy's
from
got-
your own mother? You used to live inside of her. That's wild.
It's probably the best beef stroganoff I've ever had, and is one of my favorite dishes.
We gotta go to Lemieux. Who's got number 2? What is the comp? What's
Fork
the
and Barrel.
competition?
Bourbon's Bistro, Jack Fry's. Imagine going to Jack Fry's and being like, stroganoff.
Stroganoff, please. Classy steakhouse. What would you like? How's the stroganoff today?
Is Tony working? He makes it just how I like.
Yeah.
Corner Cafe
What are people saying about the Strogs, though?
at Jack Fry's.
At any of these lovely establishments. If this podcast has one purpose, it's helping people when they come to Louisville pick out a beef stroganoff.
Their menu is fairly limited and traditional. Daniel ordered the beef stroganoff.
Who's Daniel?
Amy B's boyfriend. You don't know Amy B from calculus?
No. KBP. Yeah, I forgot that Yelp does that. To treat everyone like they're children. And how is your food, Johnny C? I didn't like my food.
I hated it.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it one bit.
I didn't like my food.
I don't like it. I don't like my food.
I didn't like my food.
I don't like my food. I want more food. I want
So
different food.
did Amy B's boyfriend like his stroganoff?
Daniel ordered the beef stroganoff, and I couldn't pass up the filet.
Girl, say less.
She does say less because she does not bring up how Daniel feels about the beef stroganoff.
She doesn't want to speak for him. Control F Daniel. Maybe we can find his review. And in his review, he's like, my partner had the filet.
Daniel.
No comment.
Daniel G.
Daniel G.
says.
Hey, Danny G was the kid in my class. The other Daniel in my class.
Yeah.
I was Danny A.
Oh, you had the A?
I was Danny A. Why would they give?
Well, I'm surprised that they didn't. I mean, you're such a.
I'm A.
You're such a powerful force of nature.
Well, it wasn't Danny.
I'm surprised they
1 and 2.
didn't just call you Daniel, and then the other guy is Danny G.
No, it's Danny A and Danny G.
Did I ever tell you? When I was working at the Thai place, they hired this guy, and his name was Eric. And they were like,
"You were like this is the last straw."
No, everybody was just like, "So, like, what are we gonna? You can't go by Eric. Like,
yeah,
this is just not gonna work." And he was like, "Oh, you can call me Chris." And we were all like, "Oh, cool. Like, is that like your middle name?" And he was like, "No, just a lot of people call me Chris."
That's cool.
Just a lot of people call me Chris.
But everybody hates Chris.
He's the same guy who was like.
That sounds very cool.
He's the same guy who told me one time he was like, because like I drank a lot there, and he realized that, so he would try and give me drinks, but it would be like an airplane shot of like apple brandy, and I would just be like, "Wow, thanks, Chris." Like, I'm an alcoholic and I'm gonna throw this away.
Hey, I snuck an empty bottle of tequila. We could heat it up and huff the fumes.
Yeah, it'll totally work.
They call it the angel's cut.
No, he told me, he was like, "No, I'm not an alcoholic. It's just the only thing I got to do is I just have to take like 2 shots in the morning just to like get myself ready."
Yeah, that's to get ready.
Yeah, just to get ready. And by getting ready, he meant driving his child to school.
Oh, that's always no good.
That guy was great, man. He came in and he had this giant tattoo on his arm like this. Like, what is this called?
Deftones tattoo?
Forearm. Yeah. He had a giant tattoo on his...
tattooed your forearm. The inside of your forearm.
Of, like, Piccolo, like, attacking Goku.
Oh.
With some sort of, like, ball type thing.
Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z.
You knew who Piccolo
I know
was?
those characters' names. I still owned a television at one point as a child.
Huh?
Well, I didn't own it.
I was too busy watching MTV. By the way, I tried to sing this song, but I forgot the words. I love in that song they were like, "What should we do after the chorus?" And they were like, "What if it's a siren solo?
What about bass beatbox?
What if we have the guitar make it like an ambulance is coming through?" No, that guy, you don't remember that music video, but there's a guy in that video that the Red Hot Chili Peppers were trying to make
Enough said.
their guy.
Oh, yeah?
He was zany. He was driving a taxi. It's always really funny.
Crazy Taxi?
I was about to say, on the Wikipedia page, they describe him as he played the crazy taxi driver in... And for my girlfriend sent me a screenshot of this guy's Wikipedia page where it said, "This man played the crazy taxi driver in the By the Way video." But I just read it as, "This man played the crazy taxi driver." I was like, what? I was like, in the By the Way video, someone's playing crazy taxi?
I wonder how
the
much...
band's jamming, then there's just shots of a guy in an arcade playing crazy taxi.
I wonder how much Crazy Taxi is on that Xbox. Like $2?
Yeah, probably nothing.
Yeah.
You probably just digitally steal it from your brother.
If you ask for it, they'll
Yeah.
just go... The Xbox will be like, really?
Yeah, can you borrow stuff on Steam?
No.
Damn. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
No,
I agree.
The Red Chili Peppers tried to have a guy in the music videos.
Yeah.
He was gonna be their funny guy.
Yeah.
He was gonna be like multiple. A lot of bands did. Like Judah Friedlander's in a Dave and Buster. No, Dave Matthews band. The DB threw me off.
Judah Friedlander booked a
Because
commercial.
people say DMB, and I always think
Yeah.
they're saying D and B.
D and B.
But he was in a David. He was in a Dave Matthews.
He can't stop.
It's hard now that Dave Matthews Band's lucky they were around before Dave Matthews. No,
You can't stop. You can't stop.
David Buster's. David Buster's Band.
You're unstoppable.
David Buster's Band. No, but they had Judah Friedlander in a video, and then there's the pretty fly for a white guy.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's on his resume.
That's gotta be.
But like, yeah, I think the Ratchet Brothers were like, we're gonna have a guy. It'll be this guy. It was the guy who played Doofy from Scary Movie.
Okay.
Who
No idea what you're really talking about, but I'm
David Arquette. You ever see Scream? You ever see Scary Movie?
okay.
So Scream.
Slow down.
So Scream. David Arquette
Slow down.
is in Scream. He plays a fucking idiot.
Okay.
And then Scary Movie was like, we'll have a character named Doofy, who's like a fucking, like, openly, like, Down syndrome, like, a guy doing an impression of a guy with Down syndrome.
Oh man, if you want to see
And and this guy, the guy who played that, the
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers went, that guy's awesome.
he's so cool.
Our promo plans for the next album, that
David
guy.
Arquette. David Arquette.
No, not David Arquette. A guy playing a Down syndrome version of David Arquette's dumb
Even
character.
better.
But that guy is at the convention.
He's on the festival that I'm doing next
No,
week.
Even better. He's on the convention that my girlfriend's at right now.
Oh really? Where is she?
The Smoky Mountain Terror Fest.
Nice.
Stars who are there are the guy from the By the Way music video. He played the crazy taxi driver. That's why my girlfriend sent me the screenshot of his Wikipedia and just said he played the crazy taxi driver. No, but who else do you think is at Smoky Mountain Terror Fest? Because you know my girlfriend, she sells like creepy-ish art. So this is
Probably
what stars?
whoever your girlfriend is having sex with while she's gone.
Well, it would be fascinating if that was true, because the big star in her mind who's there is Jenna Jameson.
Even better.
I just love that it's like people like horror and horror art and
Horror, and then they're like they just kind of just stop. They start dropping letters off horror. They're like, oh yeah, horror art too.
Yeah, like look at this. It's Butch Patrick, and then like a bunch of people look like they're like extras in Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah.
And then to the left is just Jenna Jameson smiling.
Oh, it's got the kid from the
Butch Patrick
from what's
the Gilligan's Ghost
from Gilligan's
You know,
Ghost Island.
the Munsters, the Addams Family.
Yeah, the Addams Family. One guy who looks like he's probably an ex-wrestler or hosts a ghost hunting show.
I don't know
I've never
any.
heard about.
I don't know of any of them except Jenna Jameson and Butch Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize the face of the guy who's big up top, but I don't know what he's from.
He's probably from a scary movie.
I would imagine that that's the case.
He probably plays Murderer number 7.
Murderer number 1.
Whoa.
Yeah, that seems
But Jenna Jameson's there.
that seems real fucking cool.
Imagine that's your like life as Jenna Jameson.
I guess I have to go to Pigeon Forge. What? Like, imagine being the person.
Look, here's a video she made promoting her appearance in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yeah, she looks beautiful.
That's
Imagine
why.
being the person who has to drive Pigeon Forge from like the Nashville airport down to Pigeon Forge, because I mean, where else is she gonna fly into?
That's true. She's flying into Knoxville. I'm flying into Knoxville, and then they're driving me to Pigeon Forge.
I guess maybe that would be closer. I don't know.
No, but so people are there to meet her.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, now that I've met Jenna Jameson, I'll go buy some cryptid art.
I guess I'll go buy a painting of an owl.
An owl. Also, it's like, look at these people who are like at this event. It's like just all a bunch of like horror nerds.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
who
going
the fuck
through
else is supposed to be there?
No, I know, that's what I mean. Is why they booked Jenna Jameson.
I think I think porn stars are probably the ultimate crossover act.
That is true.
You could drop them into any convention, and there's gonna be a few dudes who are like, "Oh,
that is
shit.
true." But also, it's like, do people want to openly be like,
Yes.
Oh,
I
I
don't
know
think
that
they
person.
have shame. That you just saw that people don't have shame.
but they weren't taking photos with Jenna Jameson. They were taking photos with other horror icons.
That wasn't Jenna Jameson? She looked beautiful.
No, that was just some lady. I'd go there and take photos. Just go there to some lady. Go, Jenna Jameson. I used to...
Jenna Jameson, I love you.
So you go up to Jenna Jameson's booth, and she's probably next to the booth. It's like some guy who was like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Then you just go, "Oh, Jenna Jameson, I love you so much. I used to masturbate to all your movies so much as a kid." You go to the next guy, and you go, "I love you so much. I used to masturbate."
Same.
Same to you, guy from the Candyman. No, Jen Jameson's there with her wife.
She gay?
I thought she was married to Val Venus, the fake porn star who was a WWE wrestler.
She ever wrestled?
No, but she did pop up.
No, but she should.
She should. Wow.
They're upset.
No, she did. She did like extra work, not extra work, but in like videos.
Oh, okay.
They made videos. We're wrestling.
Music videos, wrestling
Vince McMahon having
videos.
sex with somebody. We were wrestling.
It was just a
I
wrestle.
was wrestling. No, I remember as a kid, her Eat Your Hollywood Story. They said that she had braces. Eric's just leaving. He put the mic down and just leaving. He's literally out of sight. He's literally in the other room. Still. He has a big bowl and a fork. No cooking though. So it's something cold.
I thought you were about to start a thing. I figured you'd just keep going. I can still hear you.
Well, we need your live reaction. Because you didn't have braces as a child or as an adult.
No, I had braces as a child.
You did have braces as a child. So you know they're hard to get off.
Not easy.
Were you ever like, I could take these things off?
I wanted to.
But you were like, if your orthodontist died, like as a teenager in your mind, for at least a split second, you'd have been like, I'm fucked. Right?
If Dr. Sullivan had passed away,
Yeah.
what the hell was I
Yeah,
gonna do?
like, you know what I mean?
I don't have that gun.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I don't know how to do this. I guess there's some sort of magnet that drilled into my tooth. I don't know the fuck this shit's hanging on while I'm eating corn.
Seems like magic.
Yeah. So Jenna Jameson had braces, but she was like, I want to be a stripper.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, you can't be a stripper. You have braces.
You never seen a stripper with braces?
I haven't seen a lot of strippers, period, but I imagine they exist. But that's a whole nother thing. Jenna Jameson's like, I haven't yet discovered how creepy the world is to realize that this could actually net me some extra cash. I'm in Vegas, too. If anything, forge me an ID that says I'm younger. Have me work the high-class hotels.
I would like to show an ID that says I'm 17.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, they won't let me strip because of my braces. And then her brother's like, we got to help you follow your dreams, sis. We got to, you and me. He's like in the Eat Your Hollywood Story way too much, if I remember correctly.
That seems creepy.
For someone whose career is fucking on camera.
Yeah, your brother shouldn't be such a big part of your
It should
career.
have him being like smoking a cigarette and being like, that's when her work really took off.
And that's when everything started
You
hitting.
notice a change in her on-screen persona.
Yeah, she was coming real back then.
No, but he's like, they were like, I've got this. We'll get pliers and we'll just rip off your braces. And then you can finally be a stripper in Vegas. And I remember as a teenager with braces hearing that and going, God damn, I will never be that dedicated to anything. Like I wouldn't do that. Like period. And then she's doing it so that she can strip as soon as possible.
I want to show my tits right
I
now.
want to strip as soon as possible. And I remember as a kid being like, that's true drive. And I think it made me be like, porn stars are cool.
They're hard workers.
But then it's really like, oh no, she just had a horrible life that she wanted to make money to get out of.
Sex work is work.
Sex work is work. But only if they pull off their braces.
That's the real work.
Honey, in my day, we had to get pliers and pull braces off our teeth.
Back in my day, I had to cause myself permanent dental damage.
Yeah, who's the oldest lady at the strip clubs?
Some of them are a little older.
Like, what's older?
Late 40s.
Okay. But would
Yeah.
that be a token person?
No.
Okay.
At one of the places that
How old would a person have to be at a strip club for you to laugh upon seeing them? Like to walk in and see them up there? Like what age?
well,
would you have to
first
be
of
like,
all,
"Yeah."
I don't want you to think that I would be laughing at them.
No, but the situation.
I would more so be laughing at the establishment for hiring a woman of this age. I wouldn't laugh
But
at
you
the
shouldn't
woman.
be laughing at the establishment either. 'Cause they're doing something wonderful.
I don't know, probably 70.
How old's your mom?
71.
Huh. So if you walked in and you saw someone my mom's age,
How old's your mom?
late 60s,
You think late
67.
67?
67
No, I
years
wouldn't
young.
laugh at them.
You
How are they dressed?
so sexy.
Well, sexy for their age, or are they trying to look young?
Well, that's my other question. Because I assume the older strippers are like very, they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
So they're like, they probably are like, yeah, I know what to show, how to look good up here.
yeah.
Uh,
No, there were these two.
It's funny to imagine like an 80-year-old woman in a thong. She's doing the classic thong, holding bra
Yeah,
with one hand outstretched and the other hand covering her nipples.
yeah.
And don't make the joke that her arms
Her arms aren't long enough to cover that.
Yeah. It's funnier to me if she has some tight tits.
I got the meat, Jack. I just need a lift.
Yeah. That is wild. You ever go in and go to those ladies?
No. I mean, I've when I was in my
Do their grandkids ever threaten to fight you in the parking lot?
threaten. They don't bother with that. They just get right to it.
Yeah, that's true. They probably are. We probably are getting to the point where someone having like a grandma who's a stripper is not crazy.
It's already not crazy.
I mean, it's not crazy, but it wouldn't be a thing that like if
Anyone
somebody
would.
had that as their story, that'd be a pretty wild story.
No, I wouldn't think it's wild at all.
Like if you met a
But
20-year-old.
I think sex work is work.
No, it is work, but it's uncommon. And uncommon things are interesting. No, like if you had a 20,
There's definitely grandma strippers.
I guess you're right. I guess they'd have to be like late 50s for.
I mean, most strippers are young and mothers.
No, I know.
So,
No, but I'm saying where the kid would be old enough to be like
like,
aware of what's going on.
oh,
Like I'm picturing like a 20-year-old comedian being like, yeah, my grandma is currently a stripper.
that would be tough.
Because that would be wild. Because there's the thing with the mom where it's like, that guy's a mom. Let's go see their mom strip. And then you're
Yeah.
like, that's my whatever.
Don't get a hand job from my mom in the
you're
back.
cool with it, and you're like, well, whatever. But grandma is such like a weird disconnect of that it's like, I feel like if it was like my grandma's a stripper, I feel like you'd hang out at the strip club.
Yeah.
Like,
like, why wouldn't you?
Like if your mom's a stripper, you're like, I'm never going to a strip club in my life. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Or you're like the flip side. You're like, all women are objects, just like my dumb mom. but grandma, it's very weird.
Yeah,
like,
grandma is kind of like, because you're allowed to tell your mom, I'm gonna go see grandma.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And the location, what does that have to do with anything?
And also it's like your buddies are like, oh, we're all gonna get drunk and go see Dave's grandma strip.
It's like,
well, all right.
It's fine.
If that's what you want to do.
Personally, I don't get
I
it.
wouldn't do that for like your grandma.
Personally, I don't understand your interest.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, like there's a kid in our college who we found out his mom did porn, and we were like, that'd be cool if we could somehow find that.
Yeah.
It was also kind of mean. We didn't really like this kid that much, but it was kind of mean, and it was kind of like, the vibe was like, we'll go to a party and we'll just put it on. Like, not tell him. I'll just like be on. But that sounds horrible. That's so mean. If we
That's very mean, yeah.
But if we would have done that with his grandma,
who cared?
That's funny.
He's taking a seat too.
Well, I guess also she'd have to be old then.
Well, I mean, if she's his grandma, she's gonna be old no matter what.
Exactly.
Because even if you have a kid at 16,
yeah,
your kid grows up to be 16, and then that person is now college aged. I mean, what age does that make you?
Well, I would say if you go like, I don't know, 2020,
2020.
And then you're at 60. So, give or take a few years off that.
Yeah.
So in order to have like a cognizant grandchild, they'd have to be like roughly 20.
Yeah.
And then, so you're getting close there.
Yeah, it's about 60 something.
Yeah.
It's going to be 60.
Yeah, it's not funny if it's like, it's a poor family where it's like, my grandma has to strip. The only way we can make money is if my grandma strips. She's fucking 50 years old, broke both her hips. She shouldn't be dancing. She shouldn't even be dancing regular. Non-sexy. It's bad on her hips and knees. But you know what I mean? You got a 57-year-old grandma who's like, I've got it.
And I'm still got it.
There was a kid in our college who, this wasn't like I was friends with these people. I wouldn't be like at these parties. But his mom would just get drunk and hook up with his friends.
Nice.
So they were all like, woo. And then he was like, ha, my mom's crazy. But inside, that kid must have been like, oh, this is awkward. But if it would have been his grandma.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Oh, thank you.
Rolos.
You don't like a nice Rolo?
I love Rolos.
The most wasteful candy.
You said this on air before.
Have I really?
Yeah, because they're individually wrapped.
It's just something I feel passionate about.
Yeah. There's other individually wrapped snacks, but you're right. I remember one time when we were teenagers, someone going, like, talking to us about, like, pollution and stuff, and they're like, think about your Subway sandwich. They wrap it in that wrap, and then they put it inside of another bag. Because I think Subway used to have another step. Oh, that's what it was. There was the paper wrapping, the white
and then
paper,
there was the inside wrapping.
Then there was the Subway wrapping.
Yeah.
And then they put it in a bag, and then they'd hand it to you. And that guy was like, you don't need all that. They could just wrap it once.
You can just put it in the bag.
I remember as kids being like, because we're like we're like talking amongst ourselves, being like, what the fuck? No, you can't. This guy ever been to Subway? This fucking sandal wearing hemp bracelet guy.
Oh.
Whoa.
So, you just start watching TV?
Oh, yeah. Play some Halo. Go nuts. So that guy, so this is my big question. Do you think the guy from the By the Way music video is having a threesome with Jenna Jameson and her wife?
And I think Jenna Jameson and
Jenna Jameson's wife
girl
is there also, and she bought cryptid art.
Yeah.
Which, imagine you're Jenna Jameson's wife now, and you're like, we got to go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for the weekend. I'd like to come.
Jenna, listen, it's
Jenna,
a work
can I
thing.
come too? That's near Gatlinburg. I'll come.
Listen, Jenna Jameson's wife. It's a work thing. I think I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna get it over with. Like I'm just gonna stay in the hotel room the whole time, basically.
No, I'll come. We'll go see the haunted.
I don't want to do that stuff.
The fake Titanic from How to with John Wilson. We can go see it.
We love that.
Yeah. She saw, my girlfriend saw that.
The television show?
No, the How to John Wilson goes to the fake Titanic in Pigeon Forge.
Did she go to the fake Titanic?
They didn't go to it, but they drove past it. It's haunted, apparently. The fake Titanic is apparently haunted.
Well, why wouldn't it be?
I don't by fake ghosts.
Hey, they're as real to me as they are, as the other ones are.
I'm gonna start a thing where I take rich people. I get like a Dodge Neon.
Yeah.
And then I take rich people from Knoxville on expeditions to go see the fake Titanic. And then somehow I make it so the car explodes.
Blows
It
up.
kills us all. And it's like an art project.
Oh.
Do you get it?
What would be... Yes, I get it. Do you get it?
I guess I should have made it a Subaru, so it's more like a submarine.
Yeah. You had some choices you could have made.
It's me and a rich Pakistani father and son. I'm just getting gas. We'll be at the fake Titanic any minute, fellas.
Oh.
A little bit of Halo going on.
You
know they make all that stuff so we can't Google it. Like you can't. Disney made the movie Frozen, so if you Google Disney Frozen, it doesn't tell you about Walt Disney being cryogenically frozen. Instead, it tells you about the movie. And if you Google Fast and the Furious, it tells you about the movies instead of the 1999 political economic scandal. And if you Google Foo Fighters, it tells you about the band and not the UFO phenomenon. And if you Google Halos, as in how can I get a Halo?
I'm gonna get one of these Halos.
It just thinks I'm trying to buy some fucking video game.
Just thinks I want to buy the Master Chief collection.
Yeah, I'm really trying to work my way into heaven. Trying to be a memorable person in the history of Christianity. I think I'm just trying to get a game.
Oh.
No, but that would what fringe celebrities would you like to meet? Because when I realized it was he's a star.
Is he?
Yeah. He's not working cons.
How often do you think Randy Newman gets recognized?
I would love Randy Newman to be working conventions. somehow he fell into the career where he's like, no one wants to see me live, but people will want to meet me.
People want to hang out for some reason.
Yeah, it is really funny that if you have any skill at all, to be on the to be like a meet and greet convention person. It's like, why don't you just do the thing?
Yeah.
I'm legit as a comedian.
Just cut the whole set.
Yeah.
And then just do the meet and greet.
No, yeah,
part.
I just do conventions.
Yeah, you can buy
I have
a T-shirt.
a booth at a convention.
You can buy a T-shirt. We can take a picture.
$15 a photo. $10 if you buy a T-shirt. T-shirt's $1,000.
T-shirts $1,000. Oh.
No, here's what I do. I get a booth, and then I start with a yellow yellow. I start with a plain white shirt,
the yellow shirt,
and some screen printing stuff, and then I go, hey, it's like an auction, silent auction.
Yeah.
And then people are like, this is just some dumb shirt this guy's making. And then by the end, they're like, well, I want.
I said silent auction.
I said silencer. You know what I mean? And then that's all I just hope that auction drives up enough for the booth fee and the screen printing fee and my time and energy.
My plane ticket.
Plane ticket. I really hope someone somehow gets like $1,000.
The 2 days I took off of work.
Also covering the price of the shirt.
And the shirt. Listen, all together,
I made the mistake and not factoring in cost.
that cost about $30.
I always think that guy's Biden on that bus. You know the Morgan & Morgan ad where the guy's
You
like...
mean the Louisville Comedy Club thing that all
No,
the buses are
this
wrapped
is a
on?
different one. We got some bad buses in this town.
I know.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Not bad on the bus. You got kicked off the
What was
bus.
the worst thing you ever did on the bus?
Oh, I used to smoke weed in the Bloomington IU buses. It was college buses, but I would hit a bowl and then leave the bus. See, that was back when you couldn't really smoke weed in public.
So you did it in an even more public place.
Yeah,
You did it in an enclosed area where you have no way to leave.
yeah. Well, I did it as I was leaving.
Oh, okay.
I would do it like we'd pull up to
That's
the
just
stop.
you trying to look cool.
People would always look at me like, "Whoa!" Like as I was leaving, they'd be like, "Whoa!" No, because I was in my mind, I was like, I can't smoke weed just on the street or like on campus.
Yeah, you can.
No, but back then it was different. It was like 2010, 2011.
You just hadn't learned how to live life.
No, it was,
yet.
people were more serious about that. There'd be more like an archetype stuff.
I don't know, man.
Because cops would be like, "We've smelled weed around here. We're gonna try to find it."
Really?
Yeah. Like now, if a waft of weed smoke blew in a cop's face, they'd probably laugh.
They'd be like, ha ha.
And they'd be like, "Someone's having a good time."
Someone's having a.
But back then, I feel like people would literally be like, "Let's find that. We got to find that."
I mean,
in 2013, someone saw weed in my car in a parking
well, yeah, but that
lot
was because that girl was a bitch.
called the cops. You think that girl did it?
Didn't you say that's what she did?
No, this is at work. This is a different thing.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Well, the cop
maybe.
told you, like, I wouldn't write you up, but someone called.
Yeah, but I don't know who called still.
Your theory at the time was that it was some bitch
A
that you
coworker
worked
gal?
with. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible. I kind of forgot about that girl. I wrote her out of my mental story. But you're right. Maybe it was just her. I don't know. I do feel like
Because
people
I've told
care.
that story to other people of just
Yeah.
like, isn't it ridiculous to think that like
Oh yeah.
there was a period of time where my friend, like the cop was just like, I literally would never like like if I just walked by and saw it, I still wouldn't do anything. But
people
someone
used
called.
to care. I remember we went on a road trip once and we're like, all right, here's what we'll do. We'll buy some weed and a pack of cigarettes, no smoke, and we'll spend a whole night grinding the weed, and all three of us packing it into the cigarettes, and then putting the tobacco on top.
You know that doesn't actually work, right?
What?
Filter fucks with it.
Oh, really? I completely believe that.
Because I used to do a thing where I would like empty out like the top of the
Yeah.
cigarette and put weed in it, and then I like Googled it. I was like, "Is this actually working?" And they were like, "Nah,
That makes sense.
That's not how it works."
But anyway, so we did, and even then, that pack of cigarettes, we wrapped it up in like a bunch of bags, and then put it like
Okay, that's the
put it
stupidest
like
part of
in
the plan.
trunk.
That's the stupidest part of the plan. Have it be a pack of cigarettes that you were holding.
No, because we were worried they still would smell them. A dog. What if they had a dog?
Then why fucking?
No, but I remember telling people that plan. Other people like smoke weed and shit, and they were all like, "That's a great plan." No one was like, "You guys are being pussies, man. Just have the weed." Everybody was like, "Whoo!" And I remember we got pulled over at one point, and then Andy was like, "That was a close one," as if like the cop would have like. Everyone empty everything.
Every container. I want every cigarette emptied.
I always laugh because I'm about to make brownies again. Whenever I'm traveling with brownies, it's like a cop's gonna be like, "Hey, this is a lot of brownies for one guy."
It's like, I'm a big boy.
Why are they all individually wrapped? I lack self-control.
Listen.
If I'm looking down at a belly full of bunch of saran wrap, I'm gonna feel like I ate too many cookies.
I ate too many cookies.
If I'm looking down at nothing, I'm gonna have another cookie.
Oh.
No, man, that now you can just smoke weed. Now you can blow it in a cop's face.
You can punch a cop in the crotch.
You can punch a cop.
You can fucking smack him in the groin with your bong if you want to.
You can go to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert and dance with a cop for money. That's what I'd do. Are they playing Louder for Life?
Everyone's playing Louder Than Life.
Ryan Darling was looking at the poster for Louder Than Life and the other one, Bourbon and Beyond. Because it's one big poster. And it was downtown. He's looking at it.
We were standing there together, right?
Oh, I forgot y'all. That's funny. Because even as I was telling the story, I was like, I don't even know if the story's worth telling. That's great. Because there's another person in the room currently who's silent but listening, and they were even there.
So many.
I bet somehow the people listening to this podcast
were there too. They happened to be driving by while Ryan pointed and made the joke.
What was his joke?
I don't remember. I thought you were about to say.
No, I was just gonna say he looked at it and was like, "This is awesome."
That's the whole point.
Which is so funny to imagine somebody looking at like a festival poster and having any like emotional reaction to it. Because if it's good, it's like, well, yeah, they did their job. They made a thing.
They made a music festival.
Yeah, like, and if it's bad, it's like, well, yeah, that's not.
It is actually It is a pretty good lineup this year.
It is a good lineup, and like if you look,
and very diverse, and also very successful acts amongst that wild.
No,
diversity.
they're doing quite well. For whatever reason, Louisville and festivals just work. Like, because Forecast, I was reading about Forecast the other day.
Yeah.
That now it's like kind of they're retooling / maybe done, but they had quite a run.
They did,
and they like were quite successful from the go.
Oh yeah.
In my mind, I was like, they probably had just a bunch of shitty years early on. Then you look at the lineup, I was like, nah. Coming out of the gate, it's strong.
My Morning Jacket.
Same with Hangout Fest. They reunite. Captain Jazz reunited for Forecastle.
I don't know who Captain Jazz is. Oh,
they don't matter.
The emo band?
Yeah, that emo band. 'Cause I was reading about them because they're a band I don't really know much about. And I was reading about them and it was like they had 2 reunions. And I was reading the one that was like they reunited for Forecastle.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But good for them.
Imagine you're like, we got it, guys. I know one thing that can get you back together.
As the captain?
The waterfront. That's probably why they did it. Because Forecastle's a nautical themed festival.
Yeah.
So they were like, we need the captain.
Yeah.
And
we need Captain.
And since Tennille is dead and her husband is...
It's going to have to be Captain Jazz.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of captain bands.
I'm going to keep calling it Captain.
That's what the band is?
That's what it's spelled like.
Yeah. Captain should be... There should be more captain bands.
There should be some more Captain Morgan on this table. I'll tell you that.
Captain Crunch. That sounds like that'd be like a... If that wasn't a cereal, that'd be a really funny insult for a chubby guy in the military.
What are you, Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch over there.
You know what? The cereal exists, and you can still say it. Yeah. I think that's still a solid burn.
And that makes me think the guy's eating the cereal.
Well, yeah, because he's big and fat.
He's having so many berries. What's his name? Captain Crunch?
All the berries they eat in the military.
Yeah. They're giving out rations, and they're like, oh, 3 blackberries, 2 raspberries, 4 blue. Whoop. Did you get more blueberries because they're small?
Yeah, I should grow some blueberries.
You haven't, bud?
You're not on the hot new trend?
I've got some muscadine growing in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I always forget. There's this area of our backyard that are fence blocks. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of muscadine growing.
Yeah.
And then I was listening to that Oliver Anthony guy.
Yeah.
I was listening to centrist country.
Yeah.
And then he had a song where he's like, and I'll just make wine out of what. And then I Googled it, and I was like, oh, that's the stuff that grows in the backyard.
Oh.
If I have yeast, I can make wine out of what grows in my backyard.
You can get a little mead situation.
So literally, that guy taught me how to live off the land.
Taught you how to bootleg, baby.
Yeah, literally listening to 2 songs by this guy that the left doesn't want you to hear made me learn how to make my own wine.
It seems like no one wants you to. I mean, it seems like everyone is hearing it. But it doesn't seem like both sides are kind of not really cool with him.
I think he's he doesn't want to be on the right. He's anti.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the right.
He's very opposed to that. And then
I feel like the left is more so like, well, the right liked you for 15 seconds.
He seems to be a pretty religious weirdo.
He doesn't seem like a cool guy.
I mean, I haven't listened to his Joe Rogan thing, but because he's only done like 3 live performances.
Yeah.
And they've all been wild because they're all like huge crowds.
Yeah.
And they're in the middle of nowhere. They're at like Tony's Chicken Barbecue Day in Macon City, North Carolina. It's like, what?
Huh?
They're all like in the middle of nowhere. And the crowds are just huge.
Yeah.
And he keeps coming out and doing Bible verses. Like he'll come out and quote the Bible a bunch.
What's wrong with that?
And the reason he made that song to begin with was he was like, God, I'm lost. Like, give me a something. So in his mind, I don't think people are realizing that. Those songs were written before he had this whole like religious like God, because he did that thing where he's like, if you make this song successful, I'll like do whatever.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he's probably like, this is all God.
I'm on a mission from God.
So like the guy who wrote those songs and the guy he is now are probably like somewhat different people.
Yeah.
Because the guy he is now probably has some weird like, this is because I prayed. This is because I said those specific words.
God done told me.
Yeah. But no, he seems like a weirdo. There's everything I read about him, I'm like, this guy seems like a...
I watched some of that Rogan thing, and he does seem like a fucking weirdo.
It just seems like that milkshake. You know, Milkshake Duck? Like, it's an online cartoon. This is a 4-panel cartoon where it's like it's a duck drinking a milkshake.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this duck drinking a milkshake has gone viral. And then it's like the duck drinking the milkshake is then like headlining Coachella.
Yeah.
And then the last post is like, we've now found out that the duck drinking the milkshake is racist. It's like an old comic, but people are always like, oh, this is what like online Ken Bone and like all these people. It's like, oh, a guy drinking ocean spray on a skateboard. Let's have him on the Tonight Show. Oh, it turns out he beat his daughter.
Turns out he molested his daughter.
I don't know if that guy did it.
Yeah, that guy's fine.
Out of all the people, we shouldn't be being mean to him. He looks tough.
Yeah, he looks very tough. And also,
he can skateboard over here.
Has not been accused of anything. Yeah.
But no, it's like that guy. It's like people are like, oh, this guy who just lives in the woods off the grid.
Yeah.
Wrote a song for the whole thing's crazy. It's like West Virginia Media TV.
Yeah. It's like yeah, this guy just decided for no reason to do a song for West Virginia Public Radio.
Yeah. It's wild. He's rocking it out though. He sure is singing hard.
You suck.
He's going, Eric's girlfriend's playing Halo. And I'm too much of a noob to know the terms, but I think she's bombing. Is botch? Is that what video gamers say?
I mean, it's a word you could use.
You're botching the game.
She did bocce ball it.
You're failing like the New York Times.
Whoa! Don't get too topical.
What do they say about Oliver Anthony?
He's a dweeb. Apparently, he's a radical Christian.
He loves Christ. Because anytime you're like a super like, it's funny that conservatives can't be like crazy Christians anymore. Because
they can't. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, they're all about the values.
Yeah,
but they can't be like, God spoke to me in a dream.
Oh, yeah, no, they can't.
Because people are like, well, this guy has schizophrenia. This man's unhinged.
That's true. Yeah, they can't be that crazy
you have
anymore.
to like it's weird. Like you couldn't be like, I prayed about it and they told me to run for president. Like you can say that to Christians, but you couldn't say that just like at the debate.
Yeah, that's something that you got to say under your breath.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like that Oliver Anthony guy would say that at the Grammys.
Oh yeah, he definitely will, because he will probably win a Grammy.
For what?
Songs.
Best forward-facing camera rant. That should be a Grammy. Or get an Emmy.
No, I mean, I don't know. Can you get nominated for
He's
a
the-
Grammy?
What does it take to get nominated for a Grammy?
I don't know, man, but I feel like I called this years ago
Haven't the
when I said
Minions
Paul
won a Grammy?
Barabo's going to be famous.
He's already. And he's,
I'm going to tell people that's Paul Barabo.
Did you-
I'm going to tell my kids this was Paul Barabo. Quick, which way to Photoshop? And then r/folk punk. I'm going to tell my kids this was Paul Barabo.
Hey, you should make that and post that there. That would be great. Because they would hate it so much. Everybody would be so mad.
I mean, what's the difference, though?
It's just the amount of views.
There's no difference. The difference is one guy makes good music and the other guy writes heartfelt songs.
No,
I don't
I
know
will
which
never
one's
forget
which.
how, like, I've never felt more like, oh, the world has moved past me than when we went to that one Paul Barabo show,
Oh,
The
yeah.
Flyer, and it was just a bunch of 16-year-old girls.
Bunch of children.
No, it was all 16-year-old girls.
Yeah, and that's
And then, like,
pre-TikTok.
they're singing along. I was like, oh, they're probably just here for Kimya Dawson, though, because of Juno or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Barabo comes out. He's like, Wilder. Whatever that song is. I don't know.
He comes out, he's like, I work in a pet store or whatever the fuck he does.
Go into the bird store.
I'm going to tell people that Chris Clavin's behind Oliver Anthony.
Yeah, go back to Bloomington and
He's
start
doing like
spreading
a
that rumor.
Machiavellian.
Go back to
Pulling the
Bloomington.
strings.
Do a show at the fucking Blockhouse or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck, and just start that rumor with
Yeah.
what's his name,
Oliver
David James.
Anthony. David James.
Yeah, get a rumor going with him. Be like, dude, did you know that Clavin has actually been talking to Oliver Anthony for the past like year and a half?
He's been right. He's the one who got him to just do it.
Chris Clavin told Oliver Anthony DIY.
Yeah, it's DIY.
He explained it,
That guy's DIY.
and I'm sort of a
Has anyone ever met? We got this. This is what'll bring down Oliver Anthony. Because
meet him.
no, because people are like, well, this guy, he's an interesting fella, and he lives in the woods but people picture people moving to the woods. They're always picturing like people who are already successful.
Yeah.
So they probably are like, Oliver Anthony probably has a beautiful wife and kids, and they live off the grid in the woods. They're picturing like even Owen Benjamin probably has enough money to get like a nice setup. He probably met his wife before he was a crazy guy.
I would say absolutely.
Imagine the lady who's with Oliver Anthony,
She hits him.
pre-fame, willing to go off the grid.
She hits him. She.
Yeah. So once 2020 gets a fucking cell phone footage of this gal eating a rotisserie chicken in the aisle of the Walmart. No, she's probably a lovely lady.
I don't know. Does
They
he
live
have a
off the
wife?
grid. Yeah, he's got a wife and 2 kids, and they live off the grid. And like, the description's really weird. I bet it's just one sentence from him on Joe Rogan that. I keep using the sentence where they live off the grid, and he plans to farm livestock, which it's like,
How long?
yeah, like. I plan on starting a farm, but in the meantime, I just have a shed off the grid.
I also.
It kind of sucks.
I also plan on starting a farm.
Yeah. I plan on farming livestock too.
I want to start. I have a lot of plans.
Yeah.
Listen, we're talking about plans?
I didn't know we could put plans in Wikipedia.
I didn't know that was part of it.
I
Because
like
my
to edit my
Wikipedia
dream section.
my Wikipedia page is a lot longer now.
Yeah. Dreams.
It's like, yeah, I plan to open a soup kitchen. But we sell spaghetti. Or we don't sell spaghetti. We give
sell
it away.
Well, you sell it. Soup's for free.
Soup's for free.
Soup's for free. You gotta pay for noodles.
Soup for free.
Get your soup for free.
Spaghetti for me.
Yeah, like I remember that video debuted on TRL.
Oh my god.
There's a big event.
We get it, man. Music videos.
It was a whole thing.
God.
And now it's like, I know what Phoebe Bridgers looks like, and I know what she sounds like, but I don't know how she dances or acts in a short form film.
What's she up to these days?
I think she's on that Taylor Swift tour, I think.
Distancing herself from Connor Oberst?
Well, she's dating Bo Burnham now. She broke up his...
Is she really?
Yeah, I think they're a couple, and then she's on the tour with Taylor Swift. And she's friends with Maddie Healy. Awkward. Well, you asked.
It's not like I gave this
Oh
up
man,
out
have you
of
seen
nowhere.
Taylor Swift's new look? She's got braids and
like she's got cornrows.
She kind of does. She looks like the guy from The Offspring. I know I keep bringing him up, but she's stealing his hair. No, I'm just kidding. You don't actually have to Google. I was just doing a goof, but she does have braids. I keep seeing this photo, and people are like, "My queen." And I'm like, why? This is a photo of a lady on the street. I'm like, oh, the ultimate babe.
Taylor Swift's new look.
Is that what it says?
No, and that's what I just Googled.
Give me the news as if I'm a blind guy. Like, read me the headlines.
Taylor Swift's platform boots are the real trend worth noticing about her new looks.
Platform boots? You're already tall?
I don't know.
They're just fucking like 9 feet tall. Ducking
Those
under
are
bridges.
those are first of all, those are very ugly shoes.
Well, you don't get fashion.
No, I do.
That's what's cool about it. That is the one
She
thing.
literally just braided her hair. How is
That's-
that like?
I think she has more ear piercings. That was one headline I saw. No, it's funny how that is one thing women have that men don't, is that men can look bad and everyone can be like, that guy looks like shit.
Yeah,
But women can look like they can dress terrible.
and it's like, ooh,
Because I mean, anyone can dress sloppy.
yeah,
But if you put effort into a thing, men can look bad.
yeah.
But and everyone can be like, that guy looks like an idiot.
Guy looks awful.
But if women put effort into a thing, they can either look good or it can be fashion that we don't understand.
We just don't get it.
And that is what they got, which is nice.
They've
It's not as
they got
powerful
one up
as
on us.
black people being able to say words that white people can't.
Like what?
I don't want to list them again. But I did that already before the pod. But that is pretty cool. That a lady can just put an apron on a... I think that's a bad example. A lady can wear a couch cushion as a dress.
Yeah.
And then if anyone was like, you look weird, they should be like, fuck you.
You don't get it?
You don't get it. And then you look like an idiot. And they don't let you write for the fashion column anymore.
Yeah, you write for Vogue, and all of a sudden you look like the dum-dum.
It's just some guy who gets a job at Vogue. Just applying for jobs.
Oh, I was applying
And
for...
then he gets to review fashion.
I thought I was
He's
applying...
I'm in way over my head.
I thought I was applying for Vague magazine,
Oh.
where you don't really have to know much about anything.
Well, judging by some of these interview questions and answers, it's vague magazine. It has the hard-hitting question. What are they this car is driven by several times.
They're hanging
That
out,
truck.
dude.
That's not what hanging out is. And how your dad going on a walk.
They're not my two mortal enemies coming by me on a walk.
Do you think that is a thing that you'll do when you're older, is go on long, aimless walks?
Yeah, I think so.
In the future, we won't have walks. They won't let
What
you
do you
it.
think? So your dad's not retired?
He is, sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
He stopped having a job, and then whether or not that counts as retirement is a debate him and my mom seem to be having. My dad, he had a job, and then now he just does like odd jobs. He basically steals work from teenagers. Like, it's a bummer because it's like, man, if you live in that one part of Michigan where his lake house is, or by my parents' house, and you're like a 12-year-old trying to get a snow shoveling business going,
Shit out of luck.
dude, you're fucked. You might as well sell fucking candy in small bags at recess. You ain't gonna be shoveling no drives.
But has your father picked up any? Because I'm very interested. For I don't know what is retirement age?
Well,
65?
In this country, never.
What is it?
63, I think.
63?
Well, it's different for every job and stuff, isn't it?
Well, he's got like a professional job, you know.
Yeah, but it's different, like for all. Kinds
Yeah,
of
it's
stuff.
different for every job.
So I know for my mom's job, but she worked for the government. But her job was like, the longer you work there, the better shit you get when you retire.
Yeah, of course.
And then so with her, it was always like, she's like, all right, I'm gonna do like 5 more years.
It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, she's like, why? That's why. And then she's like, then they'll give me more cash.
Ching, 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 ching.
Yeah,
Ching, ching,
she's like a
ching,
wrestler
ching,
doing a
ching,
1-year
ching.
contract.
I often wonder what my dad's retirement hobby is going to be.
You think he's gonna? This is my guess. He's gonna start hanging out and then volunteering at the LaGrange Train Museum.
Yes.
You think he might do that?
No.
Oh. One of those guys kind of reminds me of your... Like, he doesn't look like your dad, but he reminds me of your dad a little bit. He like, looks like he would fit in. Those guys are great, because the first one I went there was a guy, and then his son and his wife came. So in my mind, I was like, oh, this is like a family business.
Yeah.
And the next time I went, it was a completely different guy.
Yeah.
And the next time I went, it was a completely different guy. And they realized, oh, there's just a bunch of you guys.
There's so many of you guys.
Yeah, like... What do you think his hobby will be? Is there anything he's into? Or always wanted to be into?
I mean, photography, maybe. That would be a cool one for him to get into. Because he took a lot of pictures when he was younger.
He's just in the dark room all day.
He would love that.
Yeah, exactly.
He would
Your mom, he's like, he has a
absolutely
sign
love
that's
that.
like, do not open the door.
Never open this door, ever.
Yeah, has there ever been anyone like found like has a heart attack in a dark room and then they aren't found for months because there's
Well, I don't know how long it takes for those things to be exposed.
He might be taking a nap in there. I don't want to fuck up the print.
Yeah. And also, listen, I went to bed. I didn't know that he didn't get out and leave and then go back into it.
That's true.
I figured we were just missing each other over the past 2.5 months.
I read a thing on Reddit the other day where it was people. It was things that people have.
Is Reddit about because you read it?
Yeah, you read it. You read it. That was the original name.
Huh.
Readingit.com.
Reading.
I have an account on readingit.com. No, Reddit would be like, there's people being like, what are some things that your relatives have told you or hinted at that you like didn't? It was like a paranormal thing, but it was people being like, oh, my dad worked for the military. One time we drove by Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and he thought I was asleep and he started telling my mom something and then he realized I was awake and he like freaked out and stopped like telling her. And then he was like, but I was a kid, so I like didn't give a shit about it. But now I'm like, what was that about? But it was great because so many more people are just being like, yeah, my dad had like a crazy job, but I just like never talked to him. Dude, it's funny. It's big if your dad had like, we found out your dad had some crazy clearance. It's like, did he ever drop any hints? It's like, no.
No. He didn't talk about work at home at all.
Like, no.
The only time he talked about work was like, okay, I have to go to work.
Yeah. A lot of them are just people being like, my aunt had really high clearance as like a secretary person, and ever since then she is obsessed with owls.
They're not real.
Who knows? I read the other day that they can see other dimensions.
They probably can.
So if we do live in a world where stuff is around us that we can't see, like whatever, then owls, the equivalent of an owl is like always on ass. It's like, I see fucking everything.
Oh. All right, bring us home. What you got? You got a new joke? You got some jokes there?
It's
It's written on that hand over there.
Did Did you know about Pete Townsend turned himself into Pete Townsend turned himself into a big nocturnal bird. He's changing the name of the band to the Ghoul. Remember Guardians of Ghoul?
I mean, yeah, and like that's a funny
movie.
joke to me, but I think
owl.
you know the real joke.
What's the real joke?
Are you fucking insane?
What?
You know it. Even you know what it is.
What's the real joke?
Pete Townshend has turned himself into an owl, and he's decided to change the name of the band to the Whoo Whoo.
Oh. I thought you were going to say the Birds.
All right.